Hey everybody, Kyle Postlewit, aka Malcare here at Big Kitty Games. I've been wanting to make a video for a long time. Uh, Finally figured out that the reason I wasn't was because I hate editing videos. So I'm not going to edit this, I'm just going to record it and put it up, and hopefully be doing this more often. Just wanted to talk about kind of where the game is right now, what's going on. We put up a survey just last week. It's early November 2020 right now. Point of the survey is really to judge not so much what it is we want to do. We've got the roadmap. I think it's a good roadmap, a lot of good stuff. We're aiming to get to version 1.0, which is the ultimate goal, to get out of early access. But more to decide what should be done first. And we've had some great discussions on Steam and in Discord as well. And kind of the consensus going on right now is that we need to, I say we a lot, I mean me, need to focus on bug fixes and optimization. I kind of was leaning away from that for the past month or two because a lot of this year, starting around April, I decided to take the leap into what I call the 0.6.4 patch, where basically I redid world generation engine from scratch. I used to be using a third-party tool that, like any third-party tool, it's filled with features that were things that I didn't need, and ultimately were slowing Solace crafting down to the point where people were having minute-long loading times and stuff. And it was the rewriting of thousands of lines of code and brought in a lot of new bugs. Because I decided to do that, I decided at the same time to fix the compression method that was causing problems, which we did fix. Also changed the save file structure dramatically so that cloud saves will work a lot better. Used to be tons of tiny files, and for whatever reason Steam cloud saves would often just lock Steam up completely. That's working a lot better now, which, by the way, if you still have any old save files that are marked as outdated, definitely recommend that you go ahead and delete those, because those can still cause Steam Cloud to act funny. But so we went through a good few months of optimizations there where, for me as a gamer, it makes me feel bad because I'm not putting out fun content. It's like there's no new monsters, there's no new recipes. We got a few new building pieces in here and there and some things, but really not a lot of new things to do over the span of 4 or 5 months. And so it was kind of that fact that was really pushing me into, okay, I gotta get some new content in. I gotta work on the next step. And I started doing that, and people were kind of like, whoa, there's still bugs, we're still having issues. And so after talking with quite a few players, and I haven't put up the results of the survey. It's still open. I'm going to leave it open for a while, but even already there's been quite a few answers, and people seem pretty on board with that. It makes a lot of sense to keep working on optimization and finishing up the last of the bug fixes that still exist. So to help with that, we have set up a bug tracker. It's on Bitbucket, which is actually what I use for version control, so I'm already paying them money for some file storage and things, so it kind of works nice for me. The main reason that we went with that, I say we all the time, and I did consult with a lot of the community about that, but is because you can log in with your Google account, you can log in with Microsoft or an Apple account if you prefer, or you can also log in anonymously, because we all know how much it's not fun when you go to a website and they say, okay, make a new account, because we all have 100,000 accounts. So went ahead and went with that, and it's already working good. You can also post suggestions on there, features that you'd like to see, and then other people can comment on them, people can vote them up, things like that. So please definitely give that a check if you haven't. And again, if you can fill out the survey, it's just 10 questions. Some of them are open-ended, just to let you get your opinion about what you think needs to be added into the game or whatnot. So anyway, over the past week or so here, I have been working on optimization. Ran into a bit of a problem with my graphics card, and I'm doing some things with that. But I've actually upgraded from Unity 2018.4. Unity has new versions come out every week, but then they've got what they call the long-term service versions that are built for games that are already out in production. They just basically bug fixes specific version continually over the months to make sure that there's no major changes that an already existing game will have to adapt to. From the beginning I've been using 2018.4, and just a couple days ago here I upgraded to 2019.4, and it's working good so far. I'm still working some kinks out with it, but one of the best things about it is that it has what's called an incremental garbage collector. And what a garbage collector is when you make something in the game, like say you spawn a monster, and then you kill the monster, and you want to despawn the monster, just for example. There's different ways of handling that, but just for example, when you destroy something, you need to remove it from the memory. You need to free that memory up, and that's what the garbage collector does. It goes out and it finds things that are no longer being used, and it frees them up, frees that sector of memory up to be used again. The way that some of the data flows in Solace crafting was causing garbage collection spikes, which would be one of the few reasons where while you're churning, the mouse could all of a sudden, you'd hit a leg spike and you'd spin in a funny direction. Now the incremental garbage collector will actually spread that across time, so you don't get those spikes anymore. I'm also plopping down buildings not all at once. Usually a town is located within at least just one or two areas which tend to load together. I'm now loading them in building by building, and looking to set up some methods to sort of weigh the time cost of loading a building in. Take a timestamp, load a building, look at the system time again. If a certain threshold has been passed, let a frame go by so that things don't get hung up before moving on to loading other buildings, because you don't necessarily have to do that for all buildings. And just lots of little optimization, making better use of time rather than trying to dump things all in at once. And of course, bug fixes. I haven't really been doing a lot of bug fixes this week, focusing on kind of fixing some of that stuff and upgrading Unity. One of the new things with 2019 is it no longer has that opening screen where you choose your resolution and your quality type. So I have to program that all into the game itself, which isn't a big deal. That's actually what I'm working on right now. Gratuitous cat photo. So I really appreciate all the input that everybody's giving in. Please don't apologize. Some people say sorry for being harsh. This is what I really think about what's going on right now. That's great. I'm fine with taking on that kind of criticism and advice. Anybody that doesn't know, I'm just a guy who decided I was going to do this about 7 years ago. I started from scratch. I didn't have any programming experience, whatnot, and so some of the code in the game is still from 2017, and I'm still working on upgrading things like that are more causing problems. The map being one of them. Upgraded a bit of it here just 2 weeks ago, and have some good ideas on how to make it even better. But so yeah, following that, I'm looking currently to start adding more monsters and encounters in, as well as giving monsters at least some basic abilities to start out with, some ranged attacks, maybe some AoE attacks, things like that, because everything right now just kind of has punch, regardless of what kind of an enemy they are. So yeah, let me know on Steam and Discord. You can leave a comment down here if you're watching this on YouTube. Like I say, I don't always get an opportunity to respond directly to everything, but I do definitely try to read everything. It's very important to me to do that because I get some of the best ideas, and I'm not the one that's capable of putting 10 hours a day or however much into playing the game every day, as some people do. I test things out as I make them, but I can't test everything out for hours and hours every day, or work doesn't get done. So can't say thank you enough for everybody that is willing to really report those bugs. List what are the steps that got them to run into the bug, post screenshots, things like that. Very, very helpful to me as a solo developer. So I'm a bit of a rambler, as you can tell. Just kind of wanted to do an icebreaker video more than anything, first of all. So if this goes up, no problem. And I'd love to get some feedback from the community about this video as well. And maybe we'll do another one here in a week or two and see how things are improving. Because it's hard to get point across with just text sometimes. So hope everybody's doing well. Be safe and happy gaming.